Let's go ahead and begin more or less right after the rest of the party splits off. Let's talk to Kreetha and Victoire. What's going on?
So we're heading.
Ooh, I'll pull up the Sword Coast
West?
map.
I believe.
Yeah, you are. In fact, let me go ahead and share the map with you.
The instructions were northwest towards the Neverwinter Wood, but not really in the wood proper.
Yes, I have put a tiny blue rectangle where the plantation is. It is at the corner of the Neverwinter Wood and the hills that are directly to the east of it.
Oh God. Okay, I see that.
It's very teeny.
I had to zoom in all the way.
Oh my God, yeah. I just couldn't stop looking at the giant X.
That's
Yes.
Dad's
Big X, big problem.
Yes, you passed the X already.
Okay, cool. Lovely. Yeah, like our intentions are we've gathered some information in town. Is there any more information to gather in town?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that everything else that you hear is like rumor and hearsay. Okay. You spend a little bit of time asking around. A lot of people have heard of this now, but like the tales get more and more fanciful as you go. In fact, you're pretty sure now there was a 20-foot fire-breathing giant that devastated the plantation. At least there's at least one very drunk patron of the local bar who is absolutely convinced that it was that.
It's reasonable. It's fair. Okay. That looks like it's about a day and a half walk.
Yeah, I'd say that's about right.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'd look to create that. Do you have to do anything else here?
No, I we should get going. I'll be honest, I'm mostly following you on this. This is I've never done this before, but I was just thinking that going up with the rest, it wouldn't be appropriate. You know, that's a very personal thing they're doing, and
there we go.
I probably should not have, so I mean, I was part of kind of helping, but I'm really just rambling now. I'm just following you because I've never done this before. I said that already.
You can track though.
Sort of, yes. I mean,
that's
that's
good.
not my main thing. I'm mostly just sneaky.
Awesome. We'll head out. From like the outside, like Victoire has disguised herself as like kind of a merchant, because she does do some like mechanical work on the side, which is probably one of the reasons why like she can move in and out of Triboar already, as it is straight up a merchant town that specializes in, hey, do you need a new cartwheel? So I feel like that's probably easy enough to do. Before we go, I'm gonna like check to see with some of the like grocers in the area if that like plantation deals with this, is part of like this township. I'm gonna bring them like their supplies.
Gotcha.
Like,
yeah,
like the idea of like, oh, like, if they need certain things that they normally get, then I'll bring those with me since I'm going out anyways. It's no problem.
Yeah, it does grow some some I suppose specialty cabbages, we'll say. There's some
like that's what the plantation might do, but like if they regularly buy stuff.
Trade
okay,
stuff,
going the other direction. Got it. Okay, I thought you were talking about the other way.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. We'll say that it being a plantation, we'll say that yes, There are some various foodstuffs as well as a keg of wine that all get normally delivered out there, but like the person who you say this to comes back with something along the lines of, I don't hear there are very many survivors. I don't know if it's gonna do anything but spoil, but you're welcome to it. They've already paid in advance.
Then yeah, sure. Who have you heard that there weren't very many survivors from?
Oh, it's just, I don't know, it's going around. I
Can I
probably
have
heard
an
it.
insight check on this guy?
Absolutely, yes.
How fast does gossip travel in Triboar?
Like, I want to know. Like, first of all, that's a day and a half fucking journey away. Did one of the survivors come back here? Did like they get cut? Tell people we were here into their chest or something? I need to know, because that's a different level of what the fuck.
Or
give me that insight.
Did a vampire show up and be like,
15?
I had this story.
So this person absolutely believes that this is true, but you're pretty sure he heard it from a friend of a friend of a friend.
I'm gonna like pat him on the back, like / shoulder with my massive hand. And I'm gonna go, remember, rumors can ruin people's lives. And I'm just gonna walk out.
He's kind of bewildered. He goes back to his drink.
That's fair. I'm gonna load up the cart. I'm gonna ask Kreetha to help me.
I help. Oh, I certainly help. I'm tiny, so like the things that I'm loading are like look like normal sized in Vic's hands, look absolutely humongous in mine.
Or small in Vic's hands. just like arrange it nicely. So one of the things that Kreetha will notice from like the inside the cart, it's more of a cart than a carriage. It does have like a roof that we can put on it. But it can basically be used as like a mini house if necessary, but like usually the top is off of it. So like instead of let's put our bedrolls on the ground, we can instead not do that.
By the way, you mentioned you're disguising yourself kind of as a merchant. Is Lou disguised in any way, or is this robotic dog walking around?
No, Victoire is loosely disguised as a merchant in that like I have things and I can fix stuff. Hey, it's just like wandering tinker person.
So Lou is going to get a lot of attention, particularly from the children of Triboar.
That's perfectly fine as long as they don't like throw rocks at him. He'll be fine.
Psychanthrop is asking for Vic's. Is Vic massive? Remind me again how tall Vic is. Oh God,
Vic is big. Notes. She's 6'6".
So literally more than double the size of little 3-foot.
We have an art of like height difference, and like the goblins can stand like can run between her legs without ducking.
Kreetha spends a lot of time on top of Stinky when she's
Stinky
around.
Can't go beneath Vic's legs without ducking.
But she spends a lot of time on riding on top of Stinky when she's around Vic, so she feels a little less short.
A little bit taller, yeah.
I want to say that Lou is about the same height as Kreetha on Stinky.
Oh my God.
Because Lou
tiny with this.
Like Vic's like
complex.
Somewhere between waist and chest.
So Lou is like donkey size. Not horse size, but like donkey size.
Like, yeah. It's why we use him to pull the cart. Because he's big enough.
Oh my God.
He's a big boy.
He's a large boy.
He's a large boy.
He's a goodest large boy.
Yes, when we say he's a large boy, we don't mean large-sized, Lionara. We mean medium-sized, but big for a dog.
Yeah,
because a lot of dogs are small-sized.
You have to break 8 feet and like 300 pounds or something. Both of those. You have to be at least 8 feet to be large-sized in 5th edition. So
you... again, Very popular. Having a mechanical dog, kids love it. What do you do next? You've got the base information. You're probably not going to find anything more than a friend told me that a friend told him kind of thing going forward.
Yeah, is like, but there's definitely, and this was like less than a month ago, right?
Yes.
I think it
And
was like
these
less than a week. Was what
like
the info last time said.
it was like a week out from when I got the note, but then we traveled for like about a week.
Mhm.
So like I didn't, and then so if by time wise I got a letter in closer to Waterdeep, and it took about a week to get from Waterdeep to Triboar, adding in the additional day and a half travel to the plantation, we're looking at about maybe three weeks generously. And if these deliveries are once monthly, then it's probably closer to about a month ago, because if nobody's traveling out there to know anything, then it's like the trail's like cold but not like iced over.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, no, mostly I'm trying to like figure out a better pinpoint, because if hypothetically this is vampires like I think it is, and they destroyed their entire food source, like killed their entire food source, as opposed to hurting them somewhere to use them in the like vampire equivalent of cattle, there's a chance that the vampires have moved on, but I still need to see the original site.
Oh, we definitely.
But it also means that likely I'm only gonna really find bones and stuff due to wild animal, like sky burials.
Makes sense to me.
So, yeah, we'll head out. But like we're gonna travel. We're not gonna travel like fast, because you know if the attack happened about a month ago already, then it's not going to get colder.
Yeah.
But while we're traveling, we're going to look for other signs of like animals and stuff being attacked on the way. Specifically because at like there's a possibility that we could make the vampires heading towards Triboar. Why they wouldn't have been there already, besides the point, but that's a possibility if it's like a young clutch or something.
Makes sense to me. Gail, don't worry about it. I got this.
All right. I'm not sending messages to anyone.
Unfortunately, my notifications were on, so the stream definitely heard at least the notifications. Just some future guest NPC asking some questions. So roll me a d20 for random encounters M, please, and thank you. That's not a 1, so you don't get any sort of random encounters. This area is pretty safe. Like right around Triboar is pretty well patrolled, even out into the fields and hills. So, like you said, about a day and a half, a day if you push it, will get you to the site of this alleged massacre. I'm gonna close the map and I'm gonna open up.
As we get closer to, I'm changing my spells right now.
Totally.
As we're about a half day off, because I'm assuming we're gonna try to hit there around midday. I'd like to start making like survival checks on a hourly basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just for like, is there increased animal activity in this area on this side of the plantation? I'm assuming we might have already hit the outside of the the fields and such.
Yeah, go ahead and give me 3 survival checks, one after another.
Kreetha, do you want to help with this?
Oh, I can totally let me do my own survival checks as well, because I would assume that we would both be looking for for stuff.
I'm going to give Kreetha advantage on these 3 survival rolls instead of making them separately.
Yeah, advantage is generally better than just rolling twice. Although I don't know if it really matters one way or the other, but we'll see.
I think she has a bigger bonus than me too, anyways. As
Fair
I poke at
So
my
quick
spells.
advantage first, right?
Yes.
Okay. 1.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So.
You may as well stop rolling at this point.
Nah, just roll them all. It's more fun
Go
that
ahead
way.
and keep rolling, but you may as well stop at this point.
Advantage.
That one did not
Not
go
as
quite as
good.
well. Give me one more. Wow.
And that one's bad.
That one was really
How did we
bad.
get like the entire
Range.
At least
Hey,
with
it's
that
all
advantage that
good.
became a 2 instead of a 1 though, because it totally rolled a 1. Like
Yes.
I rolled
Get out of the
a
way
20 and I
now.
rolled a 1.
So the 26 is the first third of your journey, and you notice with a 26. Okay. With a 26, the wildlife doesn't seem to be particularly impacted here. You don't notice any big differences in migration based on, where you are in the season it is and all that other stuff. But you do catch at least one tree that has a kind of blight on it.
Okay.
And you look at it and it looks familiar. Like you've seen this before. It's not like springing out and attacking you or anything, but you notice this is very similar to the blights that you have dealt with in the past. Now, Kreetha, I believe the only blight you actually dealt with was the shambling mound at Xanathar's lair. But there's definitely, you notice some similarity between that shambling mound and this sort of creeping kind of, it's not quite a fungus that you see on multiple plants as you make your way to this place.
Okay.
But you don't notice anything different about the wildlife.
I point that out to Vic. This is not right. It's not exactly like something I've encountered before, but it's very similar and it's not right.
Is the blight like a fungus growth, or is it like the tree is rotting from within?
It looks
I'll stop and look at it.
Go ahead and give me a nature check.
I'm untrained in it. Does that matter?
That's fine. You can go ahead and do it anyway. Okay. Not bad. It definitely doesn't look fungal. And rotting it sort of looks like that a little bit, but you notice that it's not wasting away. It looks kind of like it's rotting, like it's necrotizing, but the areas aren't like drying off and crumbling off like you would expect with dying tree flesh. It seems to be getting stronger.
Okay, I'm gonna
It's weird. It's definitely weird.
I'm gonna put a second glove over my gloved hand.
Be careful. It looks
for chat reasoning. I have like archer's gloves so that I can like pull back with like my 2 fingers exposed, and I'm not fucking around with that shit. I'm gonna like scrape a little bit of this whatever, like this blight, like the blighted area into a container, and then I'm gonna find a different tree, and I'm gonna change my glove, and I'm gonna scrape a little bit of that into a different vial and then I'm gonna like scientist mark them as fucked up plant, question mark, not fucked up plant.
Some CSI shit right here. I'm
gonna put them in a bag. I'm gonna like take the gloves off and seal them into like a different object, and just like to be disposed of in the fire later.
I love artificers so much.
Watching like,
yo, I have a very high intelligence skill.
So you make your way to this plantation, and you can once again Go ahead and give me, as you get close, give me active perception checks.
Yeah.
I
Can
feel
have
like you're
Luke on
probably.
the map?
I'm sorry.
Can I have Lou on the map, please?
Absolutely.
And probably Stinky too.
Yeah,
I
Stinky needs
wasn't
to be
gonna
on
put
the
them
map.
down just because I'm gonna let you two freely move around the map. But if you want to move them both, you are welcome to do that.
Perfectly fine with that.
I had to
Active
change my background to
perception?
something more appropriate.
My
Not-
background is I don't have a green screen right now. I tried, it did not work.
That's my passive. Where's my active? Am
Is
I
that from
you
the
need to
Blair
go
Witch
into
Project?
skills?
I'm sorry, say that again, Em.
No. Jen, you need to go into skills. It's going to be in there.
I just realized that when you right before you said that, because I was just staring at it going, what? When I said I was not functional today, I mean, like, I'm really not. So it's going well.
We're doing fine.
Kreetha's more functional than I am.
I'm gonna ask Kistrel that you clip that because the subtitles apparently said, "Can I get some lube on the map?"
What type of perception checks do you want? Can I, if I'm like, I'm just gonna like stand for a moment and just like kind of smell the air?
Yes, it does involve smell. You can take your advantage.
Thank you. Ha! Yep. I'm
Wow.
good with my 15. Thank you.
I'm not gonna hit the
Oh,
button, but I hit it in my
petrichor.
brain.
We have petrichor. I can smell that real good.
So, Kreetha, you first smell like a decomposing corpse. And then, like, as you sort of wrinkle your nose, Victoire, you notice it as well. And you notice that the goblin noticed it first.
That's fine. Can I have Lou roll a perception as well?
Sure, give me advantage on that one as well.
Just because Lou is Lou, he's gonna derp around for a bit.
Wow, double
anyway.
15s. Yeah, so about the same
At the
time.
same time as Kreetha.
as
No, don't
Kreetha.
take this away from Kreetha.
Lou kind of starts to whine a little bit.
And it's like the whine is like, it doesn't sound like a dog whine. It sounds like the grinding of fucking gears, and it's annoying as hell. And for a moment, you see Victoria's face go, and you can't hear her thoughts, but you're pretty sure it says, "I need to fix that."
So
sorry.
here's a question. How does this place look from the outside? Just if I'm standing here looking forward and around and stuff like that, does it look
Deceptively
normal?
peaceful.
Does it looks it's so there's not doesn't seem to be anything wrong except for the smell of corpse.
As you are approaching, and it's like I come from Sonoma County, so you get the winery on the hill, right?
It does look like one.
As you begin to make your ascent, like it's clear that this road was carved in an attempt to make it, to make the manor seem more impressive as you approach. Looks very, very normal up until you get to the front gate.
Okay.
The front gate is broken off of its hinges, and the first of the bodies is just within.
So over like in this area where this rug is?
More or less where, Kreetha, you are standing right now, where the fountain
next to
is.
the
front
fountain?
gate, front gate's right here. Okay.
So I'll move you back a little bit. Yeah, the first corpse is more or less directly in front of you.
Okay. So I'm going to like stop. I'm going to reach into a bag. I'm going to hand Kreetha a pair of gloves that are way too big for her.
I don't know if this will work, but sure.
Just in case, I guess. I want to look at the body. Does it look like it has been actively launched upon?
I'm going to ask you to give me a medicine check, but it's not going to be a very difficult one.
Can I do an investigation check instead?
Yes, investigation is fine. That's not always going to work, though. Oh, yeah. This person's throat has been straight up torn out by teeth. And with a 23, yeah, you've seen the teeth of vampire/vampire spawn before.
Okay.
Whatever did this was like berserking hungry when it did it. But yeah, this person's neck was torn out by generally humanoid teeth.
Okay, I wanna like I'm gonna put the gloves on. I'm gonna get down close to it and I'm just gonna like smell it.
It definitely smells like a corpse.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a perception check at advantage though to try to determine the age of the corpse. So go ahead and do that.
Because like after a couple of weeks, corpses stop smelling.
That's true. This one definitely is still smelling.
Okay.
Are there bugs and stuff on it?
I'm looking for like bugs if some random animal came up through here.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you figure this is probably about, I don't know, 2.5 weeks old, which more or less, well, it kind of scans, but it does mean that you got that letter like right after this happened. Like right after this happened.
I'm gonna pull the letter out of like one of my I'll go to my cart, rummage around through like my papers and stuff. I'm gonna pull the letter out.
Mm-hmm.
Who sent this letter to me?
It only has a J as the signature.
Have I ever gotten a letter from a J before?
No.
Kreetha's got like one glove on, it like goes all the way up to her shoulder, and she's just kind of poking like her hand.
Her whole hand is in the middle finger. Not quite that big of a size.
It has gone full condom with it, and it's like it's fully pants.
It looks like one of those things you'd use to like investigate the insides of a cow.
That sounds about right. It goes to here on Victoire.
I now absolutely need art of Kreetha trying on Victoire's gloves and the comedy effect.
Oh, that's excellent. Okay, so I'm going to grab like a tarp. Right? Are there? Here's a better question. Has Stinky noticed bugs on the corpse yet?
I would say yes, although Stinky, as the size frog that he is, and the fact that he is not technically a frog, he's a primal companion, doesn't really go after bugs that small. Stinky goes after small animals.
But yes, like this corpse is in the stage of decomposition you would expect for 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it completely exsanguinated?
Yes.
Okay.
But you notice with your perception check, there's an awful lot of dried blood around it as well. Like yes, it's exsanguinated, but like also his throat was torn out. Like there was a lot of
splash.
A lot of splash, yeah. The first 3 rows had to wear a tarp.
Are there any
This was sipping a gaping wound, not subtle feeding.
Are there any footprints around?
There are a bunch of footprints around, yes. It's particularly in this area, like there are lots of footprints all over the place.
Yes, but fresher versus older. Are there footprints in the blood? I'm
gonna say that in this particular area, the DC for trying to figure out specific footprints is going to be too high for either of you to manage. There's been a lot of traffic in this particular area. However, I will say that there's signs of a struggle all over the place.
Oh yeah.
And in fact, this is not the only corpse. Now that you're looking around, this is not the only corpse on the ground.
Okay. Kreetha, I have an idea, but I need to know if you're gonna be on foot or if you're gonna be riding.
Okay. What would be better? What's your idea?
So I have so back 1,000 years ago, I gave Kreetha like little like upgrades for her shoes. This is to the DM.
Yep.
I want those are the like the physical components for the spell Long Strider for me.
Gotcha.
I have components that I made over the time for Stinky, but I don't know which one, like I can make you move faster, Kreetha, or I can make like Stinky move faster. It's up to you. Just more ground to cover.
Let me make me move faster because Stinky himself can move pretty damn fast.
Yeah, but it's like if you're going to be riding Stinky, then
Let me walk just because in this case, I don't know whether if we go in between doors and stuff like that, it's not exactly easy for Stinky to get into a door like without squeezing himself because he's kind of a chonker. Like he does squeeze really easily, but it's a little harder with like meat on him, and this is like human-sized doors. So I'm probably gonna walk because also we're doing investigations and I'm trying to pay attention to like stuff that's happening on the floor and around. So Stinky's going to follow.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is Vic is going to like pull off one of the gloves enough so that like she can put it back on again if she needs to, and she's just going to hit 2 buttons on the back of each of your feet, and is going to cast Longstar. You're going to add an extra 10 feet of movement for the next hour.
So is this why you wanted me to wear shoes? Yeah. Shoes are so weird.
All right. Yeah, it's a mechanic. Yeah.
You notice, Kreetha, that like your steps are springier now.
There are straight up springs in it.
I jump.
It takes a little bit of getting used to, but yes, now you have an extra 10 feet to your movement speed for the next hour.
So I am now what? Where's my
40?
That should be like 40, yeah.
I think it'd be 40. Yeah. I'm having a moment where I just feel like I don't know where.
So as you explore this area, I'm going to let you move freely. Just move kind of slowly so that I can make any descriptions that need to be made.
All right. So, how many corpses?
Yeah, like so we have corpse A here. Can we make can we make pins on the map?
Drop down. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I could do that.
Mystery time. Wah 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 wah.
So we'll say there's a corpse there.
Okay.
We'll say
and then like you said, there's like a blood splatter around him. Is there like a directional blood splatter? Like this guy got like jump tackled and slid across the ground and then got nommed upon here.
Let me think.
Also, is he face up or face down?
He is face down. And he was definitely like, given the marks on the ground, he was definitely grappling with something. Like he was rolling around on the ground with something. And he did not survive that encounter.
Okay.
There are 4 corpses in the courtyard.
Okay.
And you'll notice that all of them are humans. But Victoire, I'm going to give this to you for free. Dead vampires don't tend to leave bodies in general. Or do they not ash in this?
Vampires
Depends on if they were killed by sunlight or radiance or fire. If they weren't killed by those 3, then they would leave a corpse.
Okay, yeah, you don't see any but you do see scorch marks on the ground. We'll go with that.
This side note, the question is like if they're outside, they might have gotten ash post-mortem or post-remortem.
Also possible, yes.
Because it's been weeks.
It's been a minute.
I'm going to check the bodies. Like I want to like keep a note of their wounds, like where they are and stuff. I don't want to like manhandle the bodies if I don't have to at this point in time, because to some extent they are a trail.
So yes,
I'm just disappointed they don't turn into coins because I could use the money.
Yes, all of them have like obvious bite wounds that were made in violence. These don't look like the kind of surgical points that you might see with a master vampire. This is like I gnawed on it and then slurped what came out.
Okay, so like these are either vampires that haven't fully grown into their fangs yet, which is possible, or it's not a vampire. because there's plenty of like weird fucking monsters that do bite a guy as an attack.
That's true.
But insanguinate them as well?
Yeah, actually, there are.
I was gonna say, we saw some of them in the Forge of Fury. Those bat
sure.
things.
Those
Yeah.
things definitely like there's this type of thing that's like a big ass like it's like a hoodie. It's
Need
like
to
a
look at
cloak
this,
that'll just
dude.
attach itself to your fucking head and then just kind of chew on you until your head comes off. So like
There.
there's some weird ass shit out there whose like main attack is and then I bit it.
Kreetha kind of looks back up at Victoire and is like, so what do you think? I mean, I will admit not having experience. This is weird.
Yeah.
Who would do that? Why would anyone think? I mean, are there animal prints?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. There are some horse prints around, but they're old.
But there's no other animal type
Nope.
prints. It's all feet.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So I will say this, like the only animal prints now are going to be Luke,
And
and
Stinky.
Stinky. There's no animals. It's just horses and lots of people. Lots of feet, lots of shoes, boots.
I'm gonna send Lou out to look for the farm cat.
I'm sorry, one more time?
I'm gonna send Lou to look for the farm cat.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
good
like
idea.
I don't want him to be gone longer than 3 minutes.
Okay.
I'm going to have Stinky go over into this garden area and check it out. I kind of walk over. Stinky, go over here. Tell me what you sense.
Yeah. Lou's gonna go and like do this side, and if he can't find the cat, he'll check the garden side, and then he'll kind of like roam around, and then he'll come back.
Do
All right, so
frogs
we bopped into
generally
the garden side.
do frogs generally eat vegetables?
Frogs are carnivorous.
Frogs are carnivorous.
Okay. Then there is nothing interesting here whatsoever to Stinky. That said, as a guardian of the earth, also there's nothing interesting over here. There are no bodies, nothing like that. In fact, the crops seem relatively undisturbed, all things considered. Give me a perception check for Lou. I assume he's using his nose, so go ahead and give me advantage on that.
I don't
take.
think Lou actually gets advantage on sneaky smelly perception.
Oh,
check.
because he's not
He's
actually a
not.
wolf. Okay, fair enough. Give me that perception check then.
I would love to give it to him, but he is a metal boy.
Lou, in 3 minutes, is unable to find a farm cat.
Okay, he'll come back to me. All right, I'm gonna check these bodies. I'm gonna assume that their wounds are similar. It's like mostly just bite chew and then desanguinated. Is there any like stabbing or
There are definitely like defensive wounds on some of these folks. There are claw marks on their faces and arms. But the killing wound in every single case is, a horrible ragged rent made by extended teeth.
Okay, so by defensive wounds, you mean whoever they were holding was doing scratching to them, or they were doing scratching to themselves?
Defensive wounds meaning they were trying to protect themselves and being scratched and bitten. Yeah.
Okay.
They being the dead people.
I want to check the inside of their mouths.
Okay.
And I want to check their fingernails.
Okay. Inside of their mouths, are you looking for fangs?
I'm looking for fangs. I'm looking to see if these motherfuckers bit back.
They did not bite back that you can tell, but their fingernails do have skin and dirt underneath and blood, as though they were being choked out and were trying to scratch their way out.
Okay. I'm going, like, as we go, I'm gonna say like a quick prayer, like underneath my breath, to Saloon. Because if they've spent 2.5 weeks outside like this, they have certainly seen the moon's face, and hopefully she can help guide their pathway beyond.
What does this gate look like?
It is also like it's a standard like doorway. But as you get close, you notice that it also hangs slightly ajar.
I also want to know, do these people look like they were dropped or thrown like discarded juice boxes?
Dropped more than thrown.
Okay, so the guy that's next to the wall isn't like half up against the wall.
No, he's crumpled on the ground.
Does it look like he might have at one point in time been like slumped against a wall?
Yeah, there are bloodstains up there.
All right, yeah, I'll like when Lou comes around, I'll bring him inside the house. Do you want to leave Stinky outside?
Stinky's gonna stay outside and guard. When he comes back to me, I'm gonna tell him to stay outside and guard. And then I'm going to turn. Kreetha's going to turn to you, and she's gonna kind of come up a little bit. She's gonna kind of pull out her hand, and like she's holding the giant the glove, and she'll kind of come up to, like, I guess your knee, really, and say, this is what you do for a living, but this is very, very scary to me.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
good at investigation, right? That's the thing you do, right? To find, to search, to look. So I will do something that I think might help in the way that more than what I could do. And she looks at you first, and then like she's gone into her pocket and she's pulled out, and she's got just what looks like just like a feather. It looks like it's like a chicken feather or something. Like it's a small feather, and she says something under her breath, and she is going to give you Fox's cunning, which is going to give you advantage on intelligence checks.
Ooh, fancy.
So
I don't know if it's a thing that you can add to me, but if you tell
there
me that,
is. I
then
just
I'll
had to
remember.
find it. Where are you? Crap. Of
Go
course
on the
you're
combat
right there.
tracker.
No, yeah, it's just.
Yeah,
You
I
want me
know.
to do it in combat tracker because we're not in combat.
That's fine.
Yeah, but the
If
combat
you
tracker
drop
can
it,
just hold things.
yeah, if you drop it on them in the combat tracker, it should apply theoretically.
Well, let's
Yes,
see if
I
this
see
works.
it. Excellent.
That was
Excellent.
just I had to move the thing over to.
Excellent. Okay.
So
I love Rangers so much. Okay.
Okay. Then we'll go inside the house and we'll start looking. So there's very obviously like kind of a trail. I am trying to figure out if that trail is a coming in or a going out.
So the fight happened all over. It's clear that this place had a fairly hefty guard contingent that just got absolutely decimated. So like
This isn't a family plantation.
you don't really, yes, this is a little bit more than just a family plantation. And as far as coming in or going out, it's kind of hard to make out.
Did we see homesteads on the way in?
In the distance, I imagine at some point or another. I mean, anytime you've got a hub like Triboar, there are lots and lots of farmsteads and stuff outlying. But like, you've been on this plantation land for a little while.
So second question. Is this a plantation in the same way as like Georgia had plantations, or is this a farm?
It's kind of more of just an upscale farm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So more like an estate that oversees it.
It's definitely like something comes from here that's valuable because they're able to afford to build this. But you don't see anything else. Like you don't see giant tobacco like fields or anything.
Right. Well, because plantation has a specific industrial connotation.
That's fair.
yeah.
So and that usually means like workers that live
Laborers.
on site.
Yeah.
Not always paid workers that live on site.
That also true.
So it's more of a like, am I dealing like, is there a possibility that there could have been like on-site work that survived?
You do not see any such dwellings on your way in. There is you don't know whether or not such things might be on the other side of the building, but yeah, you did not see any coming in.
All right, we're gonna move inside the house. Is there from this place? This is as an entryway. There's only one more door, right?
Right, there's one going straight forward.
Okay, I'm gonna have Lou also be like being like looking around as we go. His passive, so I don't have to roll it all the time, is a 16.
Gotcha.
Just because I feel like Lou is just gonna like look around, but he's not like actively looking for specific things.
Totally.
Um,
Yep. Show me where you go.
okay, so we'll go through the first door, or I'll go through the first door here. Are we
I'm
dealing?
following
Do we
you.
have blood yet? Have we seen people?
You don't see any people here, but there are definite signs that combat happened here. There's blood on the floor. That bookcase that's all the way to the left is
Can you
sort of
like circle it or something?
scattered on the ground. Sure, it's right.
To stage left.
There should only be one left because we're both looking at the same screen.
Right.
Ow!
So the stage left. That one. Okay, cool.
Damn.
So
But you don't see any bodies in here. No.
okay. With an investigation check, can we determine which, like, I know that everything is happening everywhere, but in the sense of if I was to mentally map out the direction of the fight, which was the ingress and which is the egress from this particular location?
We're doing the Sherlock thing. Awesome. Now,
we are
Kistral,
fully doing the Sherlock.
Kistral
Yeah, I've been
just-
trying to figure out like more footprints and like blood trails and stuff like that.
Kistral just
like-
redeemed +5, and you already have advantage because of Cat's cunning or Fox's cunning. So go ahead and give me a +5 and advantage investigation check.
26.
26. Okay.
I got
So-
one thing I do, guys.
So you look around, and the sort of like Sherlock Holmes kind of 3D imaging happens in your head, and you can almost see the fight happening. You can see guards fighting with these sort of fuzzy creatures and spilling out into the courtyard, as well as, and you look down at the floor, and it looks like someone was crawling out to the east. You're looking down at it now, and there are like not tracks in the blood, but the blood is smearing in such a way that it seems like going in this direction.
Heading to that hallway. That
Okay,
kind
so
of
that's
hallway.
east.
That's
east.
east, yes.
Okay.
Going in that direction, it's almost like someone was crawling away.
Okay. With that investigation check, can I also get slightly more of the layout of the house without opening any doors?
Yes. You can tell that, well, for one thing, you've already seen a little bit less than half the house if you include the hallway that you're looking at.
Right.
And yeah, you figure like the kitchen is probably off to the west underneath where the vegetables are.
That makes sense, larder and stuff.
If you had to guess, you would say that the rooms in front of you are probably for guests. There's a dining room somewhere. You're sure there's a master bedroom somewhere, probably in the back. And then if you had to guess, you would say that the trail that follows the arrow I pointed is heading towards servants' quarters.
Okay. The hallway that's in front of Kreetha.
Yeah.
Right. Is there any like specific like blood splatter in that like down that hallway? either heading, like I'm assuming possibly heading towards us.
I'm gonna say no. You don't think that any major combat happened in that hallway.
So if a person was crawling towards where I think servant's quarters, I'm starting to say this out loud. That person must have come from somewhere. Because if I can figure out where the fighting started, because we know where it ended, or we have a pretty good idea of where it ended. I want to know where it started. So I'm gonna go to this door,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna explain thought process to Kreetha. It's gonna be like the person went that way. So that means he probably came from that door, and then she's gonna walk over to it. Okay, so it's just gonna like open the door with like the gloved hand, the back of the gloved hand, so that any of the like fluid and viscera that have already gotten on the gloves don't also then get on the door. Okay, so we have, and she's like, okay, we have 2 more.
You've got a couple more bodies and definite signs of combat. And now that you're looking, you can definitely see that whoever it was that crawled away probably crawled out of this room.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm literally looking through
like your legs.
Where's Lou at?
Lou is like very carefully stepping around blood.
Gotcha.
The smell in this room I'm assuming it's slightly more stale than outside because it's been enclosed.
Yes, and also there's that.
Draft?
It's actually, now that I'm looking at it, let me look at the construction here. No, there's definitely wind coming through.
Okay. This looks like a drawing room.
That seems reasonable,
correct? Yeah. Okay, I'll enter the drawing room. With like a quick smell. I don't want to do a roll for it. We have, like you said, there's a breeze coming in. Where is it coming from?
Somewhere to it's coming out of the door off to the left.
Okay. The door is open a little bit.
The door is in fact kind of wobbling open under the draft.
Does the door look broken?
When you get close, yeah, absolutely. Like it didn't look broken from far away, but when you get close, yeah, definitely like the bolt that holds it to the door has been just torn out.
Okay. In addition to like dead bodies, has there been any other distinct smell?
After 2.5 weeks, I'm gonna say no. But, well, that's not true. I'm going to say there's that kind of potpourri smell that you get in rich people's houses.
Okay. The draft that's coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Does it smell like outside?
Yes. You figure it's probably coming from a back entrance.
All right. A back entrance and a doorway that's been opened. I'll push this door open too slowly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull out my crossbow.
This room is a dining hall. It's a dining hall, and I'm not going to mark the bodies, but there are a bunch of them. However, one of them is different than the others. There are several bodies scattered about. One of them on the table, which has been chopped nearly to bits, is like its expression is a twisted, angry face, and you can see the fangs protruding from its face.
Where is that one?
It's right on the dining room table.
It's like a snack.
Or like it ended up there in the fight.
It's like no, it's more like it fell over there on the fight. Yeah.
Okay.
It went down swinging.
Platter.
Right. It's about noon. It's about noon. Are the windows open?
In this room, there is no sunlight coming in. No.
Okay, so there's drapes over the window that are completely closed.
Yes.
Okay, and the door is not open.
The door is open. The door is open, in fact,
Okay.
and is admitting wind, but is not admitting light. The light does not go that far.
The south door or the north?
The south door.
The south door, which means that the back courtyard is probably a covered courtyard. I'll enter this room. And I'm gonna before I enter the room, I'm gonna say my prayer to Saloon on those guys out there because it's what you do. You find a dead body, you make sure that it gets where it's supposed to go. I'm gonna just how many bodies are in here plus the vampire?
We'll say the one vampire. We'll say there's 4 bodies.
4 bodies. Okay. I know you said you didn't want to put the body like X marks, but like how are they arranged?
They're haphazard. The
Okay.
chairs that you see are overturned. It's clear that there was combat here.
Okay.
Lou starts sniffing around, by the way.
Oh yeah, like Lou is in back in here and is like snicking around as much as he can. When he gets into this room, I'll be interested in if he's found anything. Not that he can talk, but that'd be cool. The vampire is in pieces.
It's not in pieces, but it has been hacked a lot, and there are scorch marks on it.
Okay, I'm going to go remove its head.
Awesome, you do it.
Yeah. And then I'm going to grab the pieces of it now, and I will walk out of the courtyard with it and throw it into the sun.
And it burns and sizzles and ashes.
Absolutely better safe than sorry. Okay.
That
By
what's
this
supposed
time,
to happen?
what? Oh, is a vampire.
So that was one of the things.
Yeah, yeah, they turn into glitter when you throw them into the sun.
What's glitter?
It's like dust but sparkly.
Like that.
Durgan in her ear says it's like gem dust.
Like gem dust, exactly. It's like gem dust. Lou will like is following behind, just like checking in corners and shit. I want to check these new corpses. Similar marks.
Yes.
Okay, and then this guy was just like hacked up with what, like swords?
Swords and you see at least one stab mark from a spear.
Okay.
Kreetha's
Where are
peeking
those weapons?
outside because that was crazy.
There are the people who died have weapons on or near them.
Okay.
Like if you want to gather weapons, you definitely can.
I'm not gathering weapons. I just like it's one of those like if and then there was no swords.
Yeah, no. There's definitely like it's clear that and this is the other thing because you got a note that said this happened. It's clear that nobody has been here since the combat. As you go through, like it's very clear that you are the first person here since this happened.
Okay.
Kreetha's kind of exploring out here very gingerly out in the courtyard, mostly because the idea that they turn into they basically combust is crazy to her.
I'm gonna start opening shades.
Lou begins to move in this direction and begins sniffing at this wall.
Okay. Is there something specific on that wall?
I'll
walk over there to look at it.
It's a pretty blank wall, but as you get close, go ahead and give me an investigation check, and you get advantage because you still have Fox's cunning.
I'm gonna see if it'll roll it without me hitting the button.
It did. Yes.
So,
supposed to.
21.
You kind of put your ear to the wall, and you think you hear some scraping. Like on the other side. You're not sure what it is, but it sounds living.
I'm going to go get Kreetha. But not loud. Like I'm gonna go get her. And then
Kreetha's out here investigating. Can I do an investigation check of this outdoor area?
Go for it.
I mean, yeah. I, on the other hand, do not get. Oh, I did not.
Sure is a house.
Yeah,
I
mean,
am
well, hold on. With a 10, with a 10, you can tell that the south door was forced inward, which is not the direction it's supposed to go. Like, you can see that the door is meant to go outward and that it was broken inward. So even with a 10, like, you get that much at least. Like, it's clear
Did
that...
it roll onto a 5? I thought it rolled a 1.
No, that's a 7, not a 1.
You got a 7.
Yeah.
So yes, you do, like, you are able to pick up that at the very least this south door is pretty clearly where, you know, the enemy was forced in, or forced their way in. And then you get a, like, hey, come on over here from Victoire.
All right.
Dumpling Bard has redeemed a +2, so the next D20 we're gonna get a +2 on.
I come back over, but I'm very quiet when I do so. Like I am small and stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
And I am trying to be even more small and stealthy.
Okay. I'm gonna have Kreetha listen here as well.
Okay.
Give me that perception check.
Can I give her advantage because I told her what to listen to?
Yes. You're like, hey, did you hear that right there?
I think she did.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, you definitely there's a scraping happening on the other side of the wall. It's faint. It's a stone wall, but there's definitely something on the other side of that wall.
It's at least a foot and a half thick too.
Yeah. I'm whispering now very low. I'm not really like I'm up here and I'm down here, but I'm just like, there's no entrance in here. Should we go down that hall?
Yeah, I think so. So I'm gonna push open the next door.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll like head down the hall. I'm gonna have Lou go ahead of us, just because he noticed it first.
Totally.
But I'm going to be actively like perceptioning.
So he will come around. He will move immediately to this door.
Okay.
Down here. He almost does the like pointer point.
Yeah, that's a Lou thing. I'm gonna roll that that perception check because I want to take a smell of this place. I know it's like a kitchen.
Give me stealth first, both of you.
Okay.
Sure.
So, okay, now give me the perception check.
Can I do a perception check to listen?
Yes.
I'm gonna take the +2 because I forgot it last time.
Take the +2.
Okay, so that's a listening
nice
one for me, not a smell. Listen. So
and
imagine
nice.
that I've kind of come up between the two.
Yeah.
To listen at the door. Very.
Both of you with 20 plus, both of you are able to tell as you approach, the sound in there stops abruptly. Like as you are approaching the door, the sound just stops.
My hand kind of touches Victoria's calf and just kind of squeezes slightly. It's just like, I'm not talking, like she's not talking. I'm just trying to communicate just to make sure that she realized that too. Like, Yeah,
What are we doing?
that's what I do because
Do
my
I
brain's
smell
not.
anything?
With that perception check, yes. You smell like horrendously unwashed human. Like
Do I smell blood?
really, really unwashed human.
Do I smell blood?
I mean, it's hard to tell. The smell of blood is everywhere in this place.
Okay. I'm going to hold my crossbow, my heavy crossbow, in one hand, and I'm going to open the door.
The door is barred.
Is it open in or out?
It opens in and it's barred from the other side.
Okay, I'm going to shoot the door.
You shoot the door and you hear a on the other side. Does your crossbow have any power to like destroy a door, or is it just like a
It's
magical
magic.
crossbow?
It just does damage.
Cool. Go ahead and roll me that damage. You hit automatically. Roll me the damage.
Oh my
The
God.
door's not going to dodge.
I hurt the door. I did. 9 damage.
So yeah, a big solid like splintering of the door.
Ooh.
It doesn't quite like fall out, but you definitely took a big chunk out of it. Jeff, are there any sounds or words coming from the other side of the door? I actually didn't hear that.
The bolt went through the door
Oh, like through? Yeah, fair enough. It goes
and then
through.
vanishes.
Fair enough.
Like repeated prayers to Tyr. Like mostly, it's that like stream of like, I promise I will do all the things, and I will help all the people. Just like he seems positive that he's like begging for help.
Common?
Yeah,
Is
in
it in
common.
common?
But it's that like he's not talking to you. He's like the stream of consciousness
But
from
it's in
somebody who's
common.
terrified,
Yeah.
from someone terrified out of their mind.
Okay.
I come up and I knock on the door.
Hello?
Hello. I kind of once again squeeze Vic's kind of thought.
I'll take a step back to let this happen, and
Yeah.
I'm going to pull out my axe.
Hello. Hello. Are you okay in there?
No.
Well, I wanted to tell you, we are not vampires.
Oh, okay.
I can look. You sound like you need a hug. I have a stuffed animal you could hug. Look, we're here trying to help. There's a lot of dead people. We're here investigating, and I don't think you're a vampire. You don't sound like you're going to burst into flame if we brought you outside. You're not going to do that, are you?
Stink. Stink.
I don't know if I can believe you.
That's understandable. You've had a very difficult time. I promise you that I am not here to hurt you, and neither is my friend. We're here to hunt the vampires. Can I roll persuasion?
What are you trying to persuade him to do?
I'm trying to persuade him that we are not here to hurt him.
That to try
Fair
and persuade
enough.
him to be less terrified.
Can
Excellent.
I impose disadvantage?
You are definitely imposing disadvantage.
I'm so sorry.
Roll it.
Am I disadvantaged?
Yes.
Okay. This
Come
is
on,
gonna
come on,
go
come on.
So
What
well,
you got?
thanks.
This is gonna
Okay.
go great.
It's gonna go so good. Not as bad as I thought.
You don't
Not as
immediately
good as I
panic the
hoped.
guy, but
Yeah.
he definitely like is no closer to getting closer to the door.
What's his
Look,
name?
Can you tell me your name?
Uh.
I'm Kreetha. And we have Vic behind me, and there's this really adorable giant frog outside. He's really sticky. No. He's good. He's good. He's a frog.
Anything that's big is bad.
Okay, that's fair. Well, he's outside. He's not here. I am very small. I'm very small. I'm a goblin. I'm very small. Promise. Very tiny.
My name is Tim.
Tim. Well, hello, Tim. I guess I'm Kreetha. Could you tell me what you're doing in that room? It must be very small and cramped if you are a human like you sound you are.
Is the sun out?
The sun is out. It is bright. It is noon. It is a beautiful day if you ignore the corpses.
I'm so thirsty.
I look behind me. Is there any water in this room?
Absolutely, yes.
Cool.
You find yourself in a kitchen basically. So yeah, you can definitely find.
All right, so I grab the
Water.
water in like a cup or a mug or something like that, and I come up to the door and I kind of make it kind of sound sloshy, and I'd be like, "There is water out here. You must be very thirsty."
There will be
Please.
like very light sounds of someone moving very cautiously toward the door,
I'm gonna roll a patience check.
and then when he hears it, like we're watching several survival instincts come into conflict at this moment, and
Durgaden is still like strapped to me and shit. Like it's like,
you'll hear
look,
something shifting on the other side of the door.
here, I'm standing here. Just open one door a little bit. I won't push in or nothing. I will just hand you the water.
Nah.
He will very
Rest
stiffly
the
move.
axe down. I'm gonna pick up the crossbow.
He will very slowly open up, like he'll like gently open up like one of the doors.
She kind of pushes the
Like,
water
he
in.
look like his eyes are bright. His like that light, like the heavy sacks under his eyes. It looks like he looks horrifically dehydrated. His eyes are sunken in. His lips are chapped. His hair is bedraggled. He's filthy.
As the door opens a little bit, you find that he's been hiding in the pantry.
Very full of a bunch of salted meats.
Yes. Here. Was there any like wine in there? Because I'm assuming he had something liquid in there to help sustain him for 2.5 weeks.
There are empty ewers and stuff in the room, yes. Yeah. But it's been quite a few days. And if he's been in this area the entire time, then yeah, he definitely drank all of it.
You must drink it slowly. Slowly.
He'll like pull back into the darkness, but like not close the door because he's more or less like kind of confused by the small goblin that's handed him a cup of water.
Just drink it slowly. If you drink it fast, you'll get sick.
He will drink it slowly as directed. Like he has to be slowed down at least twice as he drinks it.
There you go. So Tim, can you tell me anything about what happened here?
Oh,
behind
like,
Kreetha, this giant.
Like you see his eyes like kind of like glaze as he's like definitely having some sort of horrific memory.
She like pulls out plush Xanathar.
This guy's having a weird fucking day. So,
It is very cuddly.
Uh,
Would you
and he
like
touches
something
it.
to
When he
hug?
touches it, he like partially melts and like it's so
It's
soft.
very soft. Yes. Yes. Why
And he'll,
don't
like-
you hold this while you
Oh,
tell me?
He'll hold it. Look, you very, very.
Plus, Xanathar's going to need a hell of a bath after this. But
It's
fine.
immediately greasy, yeah.
It's so gross.
All right. You keep drinking, but just
But the
go
door's like
ahead.
he's no longer like holding the door open.
Yeah.
So it's
She's
like,
not trying to push the door open. She kind of keeps doing this with her hand, like to keep Vic back and to keep Lou back.
Vic's
and
on the
stuff.
other side
It's
of the
just-
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
He'll
Vic,
take a-
is Lou still right there, or
Vic's on the, like Lou's probably back. Vic is going to adjust her axe so it catches the light and shines at the guy.
He winces from it, but not like the "oh, I'm burning" sort of way. More like the it's a something has been shining in my light when I've been in a dark room for
Oh, yeah.
days.
All right. So you've been in there a while. Can you tell me what happened? I know this is going to be hard.
As he like steps out, like the clothes he's wearing are stiff and crusted. It's like in black, dried blood that's been dried for days, and he looks like
Oh, that's
what
not
does your
right.
neck look
That's
like?
an orc.
weirdly okay. Like, it doesn't look like torn. It's not torn to it's not torn to bits, but like it looks like he got a bunch of blood on him, and like he's not
Okay.
happy about it.
Is he human?
He's human. He's a human male. He will very lightly step out of it. He's wearing like a simple tunic, a simple set of breeches, simple shoes. Like this dude looks like a farmer that has been dipped unpleasantly into the main room.
Was there any like blood and fighty stuff in this hallway?
No.
And you said Stinky didn't see anything specifically weird in the garden.
No.
There was nothing in the garden. The garden was pristine.
I want to
In one hand, he has like a sharpened, what used to be a chair leg that he is like painstakingly sharpened, but like he's clutching it very nervously with both hands when he sees
The Buffy
when he sees
solution.
Victoire.
Victoire is going to like reach over, like not really looking because she's already looked in this room, and grab one of the knives off of the table.
Okay.
And then like offer it to them, being like, with a like, are you sure a stick's gonna work?
It's what we were told.
Well,
have a
that's why
backup.
we're here.
You stab them, they die, right? That's what we were told.
That's what we're here to find out. It's all right. Okay. So what I need to know is what happened. Can you please
They died.
let's just start from that day when it happened. What were you doing? Where were you before everything happened?
They died.
I know.
They're all
I
dead
know.
now. I heard them stop screaming. They were screaming.
I know.
Died.
I know. This is very hard. But if we're going to help you, then we need to know.
Like
Please.
his no tears are coming because he's so dehydrated. But he's
He's
like
so dehydrated. Yeah.
and just he's like in racking sobs that are just like trying to hurt. And he's just he'll like he'll drop the steak and like grab his face, and he's clearly horrifically drunk.
No.
I want to move him into the sunlight.
Like he now that he's outside, like he actually kind of like is easily coaxed.
So we're gonna go out into the garden.
Yep.
Yeah, well, also because I figure they don't have
it is-
running water.
He's daylight, so he's reasonably certain that you both are not vampires, so he's on board.
All right. So let's head out to the garden
So
I
when
won't-
he comes out,
because that's where the
Again,
well is.
direct sunlight, right? It's early afternoon. So the sunlight is like searing to his eyes at first, and he responds accordingly. In the daylight, he's definitely pale, but he doesn't burn.
Okay. I'm going to draw water from the well. And then I'm going to do science to it for a little bit. So that I know that it's not like trash water.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the water from the well has not. First off, there are no bodies in the well, which is nice. It seems like the well is still working good.
Like we're still gonna boil the water and like stuff first. Like I know that you're thirsty, but I don't want to make sure that I want to make sure that you don't get like a parasite or something. She's gonna start using like the big words, like without thought, and is going to like prep the water so it like boils condensation, so that like double checking that shit.
Seems reasonably drinkable to you.
A lot of death. He can have some of like a water skin that we brought while this is being cooked on a magical fucking stove.
Okay. All right. I need you to breathe.
I'm gonna step
Can you
away from
breathe
just a
with me?
moment. Keep going.
Okay.
Can you breathe? Okay, just don't think of anything else for a moment. Just breathe with me. Breathe in and breathe out. Very nice and easy. Breathe in. Breathe out. And she reaches forward and gently takes one of his hands, ready to stop if he twitches and like acts like he doesn't want any touch.
Like he semi flinches, but when it's not a hard grab from a horrible monster trying to tear his face off, he like calms down. His hands are very calloused. Like this is the guy who spends all of
Her
his day
hands are
working.
tiny in yours.
Yeah, his
These
skin
small
is very
little green hands.
like
with
these are
wraps on
farmer's hands. This is a guy who spent every day of his life, like of his adult life, on a field, using tools to work.
pretty calloused. Creighton's hands are actually pretty calloused too, but in different ways.
Yeah, he's.
Alright, so breathe in.
Like the water
Breathe
helps.
out.
He like lets him wash his face so he can get like
Yep.
because he can see his hands now in the light and he sees how filthy and like can look at himself and just see the state he's in.
I know. All right. You
Yeah.
feel the ground underneath your feet, right? You feel the dirt. You smell the dirt, right? You smell it. Just smell the dirt. Just this dirt right here. And she reaches down and she picks up the dirt. And this is clean dirt. It doesn't have blood smell or anything. It just smells like dirt. And she brings it up as far as she can get because she's small. He's probably sitting.
He appreciates the gesture. He's definitely
just smell the dirt. You smell it, right? It smells like dirt. Normal. This is normal. You smell the garden around you. You feel the feeling of the air. It's moving against your skin, and it's soft, and it smells like air. And you've got water, and right, you can feel the ground under your feet. You can feel the air move in your lungs, right?
Yeah.
Now I need you. It's going to be hard, I know. But I do need to know. So where were you a few weeks ago?
We were told to come here and to help fight the monsters that have been attacking us and hurting us.
Where were you before that? Who told you?
My family lives on a farm.
Why did they ask farmers to come?
He'll indicate a direction where, wherever the direction appropriate according to us is.
He has no idea
village.
where he's at right now. He could be gesturing directly into the bottom of the earth right now.
Like so, he's like, there's a village that we
all right.
are from.
Who asked you to come? And why would they ask for farmers to come? You're not fighters.
We have our the priestess of Tyr wanted us to fight and confront these monsters.
So you're not from this area. You're not from this farm.
This farm, no, but it's been hitting all of us. All of us have been hit this way.
Wait, so your farm as well has been attacked? How many?
Yes. I
And
I
she
don't
looks at Vic. She's very concerned, but like looks back, and her face kind of smooths back into that, just
I don't
careful
know.
calmness.
I don't know how many. We were told that we should come here for supplies, for weapons, for a plan.
All right. And when you got here, had this already started to happen
They
while you were here?
I don't know what happened. I know we were talking, and I'm not important. I just there because I was trying to do something, and then they came in. I don't know what I don't know what happened. We just heard screaming, and then they came in. They were so strong, and
Did you
when
see how many?
the I no,
But there was more
I
than
only
one.
yeah. I couldn't tell you how many, but they were so strong.
And you managed
I-
to make your way into the pantry?
Like a horrible look of guilt falls over his face.
No, don't. You are not a fighter. You're
I
a
feel like we've had this
Man.
conversation before.
You're a farmer. You should never have been asked to do this. This is not the thing that you should be doing.
He'll
You are
punch
here
the
to
ground. I'm a coward.
No. Look. We've all been. I understand what it means to be the only one left. I do.
Horrible, horrible sobs that he's only now just starting
She's
to
just
feel like
hugging him
wisp
now.
of
just
tears as he's like as
oh,
he's-
jeez.
he'll
Yeah, she's hugging. She's kind of
normally
crying a little
this would
bit
be a thing
too,
that I would be
because there's
more
been-
than happy to role play with in like a live action setting, but for the sake of expedience,
yeah.
he will eventually come out of these sobs and he'll relate.
She's kind of just
like,
saying the same thing. It's like, it's all right.
he will relate and reiterate. There was an attack. It came very fast. They were very strong, and they killed everyone that got in front of them. He heard screaming, so much screaming, such loud screaming from where he was, and he hid. And he barred the door and hid and waited for the screams to stop. But every time he went to approach the door, he felt like the screams would resume at any second, and that they would find him, and they were waiting for him. They were just on the other side of the door, just waiting for him to reveal himself. And he lost all track of time because he's been living inside of a lightless room for several days of sheer terror.
Basically a nightmare room. Yeah. It's like, she understands.
Okay.
Yeah, he's otherwise just like been living off of salted meats and stuff that one should not drink instead of water.
I'm gonna pull a couple of carrots out of this
I was about to say.
area. We're gonna like hand them to him, put them on the back of the cart.
There's food right there in the ground.
Yeah.
Comes from the ground. Pour some of the boiled water over it. That way it's clean now. Dirt ain't gonna kill you. Here you go. We're gonna put him on the back of the cart, kind of like a doll.
So she calls
Quiet
Stinky
woman.
over, and you see a giant frog coming over to the cart, right?
Yeah.
And she's just like, we need to continue to see if we can figure out what happened here. You are not the fighter. You are not, this is not what you do. You are, I don't want you to feel alone. I don't want you to feel like you don't have protection. So you now have new friends for a little while. And she turns and she kind of looks, this is Stinky. He's giant frog, but he's not really frog. He's kind of magic frog. He does not eat humans. He does not eat people unless they're trying to eat him first. And he is very strong, very good. Big bite. He will take care of you. He's going to stay by you no matter what. All right? Whether you choose to go in with us or not.
For as long as Stinky is within proximity of him, he's like not like running away, but clearly leaning as far away as his sitting position will allow him to lean.
It is very reassuring to hear that he does not eat humans. Oh, damn, the inspirational, again, challenge has been completed, which means each of you, please go ahead and mark off a tick of inspiration on your character sheets.
Does Lou get one?
No, it's player characters only, sorry. Lou is part of you, just like Swoops wouldn't get one and separately from Charlotte.
Yeah, but I'm putting it there to remember.
Anyways.
So yeah, he's like he is related. Aside from that, the only information is that he is covered in blood that he's reasonably certain is other people's. Like he will, like in vivid detail, remember a friend of his being ripped in half in front of him, and that's what kind of sent him off into
He's sitting on a tarp.
So Kreetha comes back over,
and he will just be pounding back the water just because he's so tight. So thirsty.
Kreetha comes back over to Vic.
I'm gonna hook Lou back up onto the cart, and I'm gonna start it moving.
Are we sure?
I have just kidnapped Tim.
Anything else?
So as I said in the chat in Fantasy Grounds, as this conversation is happening, now that you're outside, and now that you're on this particular side of the grounds, you can see that there were survivors that went off into the forest.
Yeah. We're heading in that direction. We're kidnapping Tim.
Tim is really confused as to where we're headed.
Yeah, Tim is attached to us now. We have adopted Tim. Tim has no say in that matter.
Tim at the moment prefers being adopted to being left in a lightless cellar.
This is significant enough that I feel the need to pause at the moment. Someone anonymous just donated 2,000 bits, which is the equivalent of $20. So thank you very much. Normally I don't want to break up the scene, but 2,000 bits is enough to where I should at least say thank you very much.
So I'm kidnapping Tim.
Yep.
And we're heading this way, off to the left?
We're heading towards the tree line in the direction of wherever the trees are.
Yeah, there's a fairly clear path. Now that you're looking at it, it's pretty clear.
Right. We're gonna head in that direction.
I kind of come up to Vic and I'm like, are we done with I would think we were not done with the building. What's going on?
Oh my god, I'm sorry, Jen. I can't actually hear you.
Sorry. I was basically like, are we done with the building?
Currently, yes.
How can you be certain?
Well, there isn't a second floor.
And if there were a vampire in there, it would have eaten him days ago.
Yeah, I mean, there was a body that crawled off, but we found someone. I don't want to leave him out here.
Well, no, I don't want to leave him out here either.
I mean, if you want to, there's probably an entire section of the house that we could have searched, and I mean,
no, I am following you. This is your job. I'm just asking. Let's go. And I look at the ground, and I'm assuming I see the trail.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not difficult to follow once you see it.
I know that there was a guy, like a person who crawled off towards potentially the servants' quarters. I did not check on that side. I'm saying this to the DM.
Yeah.
Because judging by like smell and stuff, the likelihood of, and then there is a dead body halfway crawled down the hallway is more likely.
Pretty
than finding a
likely,
person.
I would say. Yeah, I agree. That would be a fairly likely outcome to that
And
scenario.
if those are servants' quarters, they do not have places to put a body that's like hiding.
That is a absolutely reasonable assumption on your part.
Unless he fell down the latrine.
And even that, it's probably not that deep anyways. They probably have to actually muck that out.
Yeah.
So,
So
what are
we're
we
gonna
up
go
to?
look for survivors.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So you follow the trail. The trail links up actually in the forest with a you wouldn't quite call it a road, but like it links up with a trail that has been tamped down enough that it's almost a road. And you can follow out that way. The sun goes down. Tell me a little bit about are you marching through the night? Are you camping? What are you up to?
Well, I'm gonna start by, while we're walking, pumping Tim for information.
I will go ahead and say that everything that you could learn from Tim, you have learned from Tim.
I want to know if there were, like, if it was a multiple attack thing or if he literally didn't see anything.
He definitely he can give a description of what he did see. He did see what of a humanoid creature that moved like a man but moved far too fast and far too powerfully to be a human. It like picked up a man, tore him in half, grabbed stout men twice their size and tore their throats out with their teeth.
Okay, so in a world of magic, that is possible to do with magic.
Yes, but he's like, to him this is all magic. These are monsters.
Right. Well, no.
This-
From Victoria's perspective, it's like this could have just been a wizard. She's
Could've
not
been.
saying this out loud.
Sure.
This could have been
But-
a wizard. The desanguination is a bit weird for wizard. Was it just one person that you
Not
saw?
just one attacker.
Yeah.
No, there were multiple attackers, each of them
How
having
many?
very. He can't more than one, less than half a dozen.
Where did they start?
From outside working in.
Like the back?
All sides. Like the entire
Will-
building seemed to get in at once.
Yeah. As far as he can tell, like he was in the middle of the building when it happened, so he's not entirely sure. The evidence that you see tells you that they probably all sort of swarmed in the back and then split up and took the whole house at once.
Because it looks to me like there are 4 egresses to the house proper. If the courtyard is not covered, then there's 5. No, this I'm saying to Rob.
Yep.
So it's more of the like, if I'm getting the impression from Tim that they came from everywhere at once, am I getting the impression from him that they came in through every single door?
More like he was in the middle of the building when both exits were suddenly cut off.
Yeah, he was in the
foyer. Your sound just cut out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, now it came back. Okay, good. That was
Can't hear you at all.
weird. That was weird. Can you still not hear me?
Cannot hear the Rob.
Okay.
What
It's
is
so
this?
nice to not be the one causing this problem for once.
Is it
this
my
what it
question is
feels
all
like
you
for the
muted
rest
on
of
the
you?
stream?
Difficulty music.
Hi.
My question is, can the
There we
stream
go.
hear us now?
There you are.
No,
I can hear you now.
and Stream could hear me, but there was a really weird like my sound has been all sorts of funky lately. So it's
Like
fine.
cat
It's
fuck
fine.
you.
We're all back.
Okay.
Okay, so I will ask Tim like which room was he in the house?
Rob.
I'm going to say he was in the drawing room.
Okay.
Which is
He
like
was
the very
like-
center of the room. So like when he says all at once, there were 2 entrances to that room. They probably entered
There's
that
4
room.
entrances to that room.
Yeah, they probably sort of swarmed in all at once.
Okay.
Like he was not alone when he got jumped.
Okay. Why were you in the drawing room?
They were like getting that we were breaking furniture. They didn't have weapons for us. We were trying to arm ourselves.
So that you knew that the attack was coming.
No, we didn't know the attack was coming. The attack, like they ran to that room to break chairs and make spears and clubs.
Okay.
They came to this building to plan a response, not to jump straight from that to the fight.
He said the other villages were getting hit as well.
Okay, so there were other villages that were being attacked, and they gathered here.
Yeah, they gather from what this guy describes is that there is like a host of tiny little familial communities like farms and like homesteads and the like that all kind of communally are built around like what would serve as like barely a town, and that community, the assembled community has been getting hit by these raids. They tried to come together to solve the problem, and so they went to the richest guy's house because they had the most room and would probably have had weapons. And when they got there, they started their plan and got jumped before they could even get really started.
Okay.
They felt ambushed.
Right. And where is your homestead in relation to the big map? Like where?
He gets this like, really big pained sense of worry, but like he'll tell you it's far away. For him, it was like a good trek. It's probably a couple of days further west.
Oh, so in the woods.
Like in the woods. Like again, like he'll say a couple of days. He's on foot. So.
And in fact, as you begin to take this trail, you find that yes, you are moving in the general direction of the town of your origin. Like you're not sure because you've never been on this road before, but you are moving in the general direction of where you're from.
Like that's not apparently unusual. Out here, it's like because they're all disconnected homesteads that mostly just live on their farms and only come they only come to town to sell their wares at market and to trade.
Okay.
And so like he knows his neighbors by their family name. He knows the community by their role, not really their sense of identity. Like his entire social circle is his family. He's very worried about his family now.
What's the name of the forest?
I think it's Neverwinter Woods.
Yeah, this is one edge of the Neverwinter Wood.
Okay.
It's like a huge fucking forest.
It's a very big forest.
What do I know about that forest?
It's big and it's scary, and I'm pretty sure it's full of elves.
One part might have a dragon in it.
I'm sure there's a dragon in there somewhere. It's like a state-sized forest. It's very large.
And the elves that live there are not the most insular people in the world, but fairly insular.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just like, I want to know like why he was there, like which we've got into. So we'll continue down the road. I'm gonna stop every hour or so during daylight hours to give a general like check around to make sure we're going in the right direction. Whether or not we have any pursuers, like whether or not the group of survivors were pursued.
You do not, and I'm going to use previous checks on that. You do not see any sign of pursuit. It looks like the people who got away scot-free.
You're probably not going to need to make more than maybe like a stop.
And they're definitely not they're not hiding their tracks. They are fleeing. Like clearly this is the trail of someone who is moving at the fastest speed they can without exhausting themselves.
Oh,
is there any proof that they might be injured, like small bits of blood or anything like that?
Nothing like that, no.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell Kreetha to get into the cart, and I'm gonna keep walking.
Okay.
From what you can tell, this guy is never he has used horse carts before, and everything that you are using is essentially indistinguishable from sorcery to him.
It is exactly the same as a horse cart, except that the horse is a
magical robot dog. Yes,
a giant magical robot dog that he will refer to as a golem because he doesn't have another word for it.
It's not an incorrect assumption.
Not a golem though.
It's not a golem, but it's a reasonable assumption.
And he's like, and he's talking about like this is a guy who's never been more than 10 miles away from his house.
Until now.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Vic will repeatedly correct you, automaton.
And he doesn't, and then there will be a hilarious segment of him missaying the word automaton at least 5 times.
Oh, that's so cute.
Automaton?
About the
Automaton.
second time, it'll just be Lou.
Lou's easy to pronounce.
Lou. Yeah,
Lou.
Lou. Correct.
Lou. Oh.
I'm gonna tell them to go to sleep in the cart.
Okay.
I'll take the point of exhaustion and keep going.
So you're
Excellent.
not going to make camp at night. You're just going to keep walking.
Gonna keep going. I'm not gonna
he'll-
fall asleep in this area where there's vampires and shit. Fuck that.
Tim will lie down. You do not think he's sleeping.
He can do what he wants as long as he pretends like he's asleep.
So about 2 hours after sunset, you're pushing ahead.
I'm
And-
drinking coffee.
And you hear a violent shaking in the cart. Kreetha, are you in the cart?
You put me in the cart. So
Excellent.
yeah,
Roll
I'm in the
initiative.
cart, and so is Stinky.
Give
And
me some
so is,
initiative.
Tim.
Okay.
Roll some initiative. You want to roll
Inside the
initiative?
cart. Oh, cool. Okay. So this is a good time. Okay. Initiative.
Big oofs all around.
Hey, no, I had great initiative. What are you talking about?
Okay, not all around. You're right.
And then Stinky, I guess, is on my initiative or right behind
Yes,
me or
yes.
whatever.
I'm gonna put your people on the same
Of course,
initiative
they're
count as you.
outside, so of course their initiative is going to be lower.
And you'll get a chance to
Not
decide
on
who
cart.
goes first, who goes second. You and your animal are so, and this goes for both of you, are so in sync that you get to decide. Where is my initiative on NPCs? I've done this so many times. I guess. It's not there. Weird. Okay, I'm just gonna roll a d20. Okay, so it's at a 10, so it's better than some of you. And with that, friends, we're gonna take our first break because it's been a couple of hours. We're gonna take a 10-minute break.
Get that ominous title on the combat tracker. Now we're going to go to break.
Yep. Now we're gonna go to break. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. We'll say we're starting the break at 7:58 p.m. Pacific, so we will be back at 8:08 Pacific at the end. And then we're going to do some combat, and maybe it won't be combat. We'll see exactly how it goes. I'm really interested to see how this goes. Friends, thank you very much for watching this far. We will see you in just a few minutes.
BRB, gotta go feed some frogs.
Real ones in real life.